because of ZANU-PF wants to take over from Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, especially if we are to buy from Themba Mliswa's assertions. And he was interviewed by one of the South African broadcasting station, that is 405 Newsroom Africa. And when he was interviewed, he mentioned that in Zimbabwe, it's easy to get US dollars, you can get them on the streets. Now, listening to that statement coming from a politician who is supposed to provide political leadership within a nation, it is very, very dangerous and catastrophic. And I'll be demonstrating how. Greetings and welcome on your lovely channel, the Planet Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button, so that next time when we beam live, guess what, you become the very first one to watch us. Before I talk, let's just listen to the interview that was done by Chris Mutsvanga.
To our people, which we've done, the land has been given back to our people, and you can see even this year we've notched 360 million kilograms of gold and leaf tobacco in Zimbabwe, which is a third more than even the height of the colonial era. And the quality is very, very high, and the price is more than $4 to $4 a kilo. This means about $1 billion US dollars going into rural farmers in Zimbabwe, of which the most producers are SMEs. 80% of that turnover of $1 billion is going to our people in rural areas. We also go further to the gold sector. You know, in Zimbabwe, people don't know. And in South Africa, your gold is DPA in the rand. In Zimbabwe, gold is everywhere, literally everywhere. And we have allowed young people to dig gold since 2016. And you will be happy to know that SME gold mining now produces more than 30 to 40 tons of gold per annum. And this is 2 to 3 billion US dollars being pocketed by young people digging gold in Zimbabwe. So when our currency, the Zimbabwe dollar, is now being traded in the global marketplace, it is backed by gold. In fact, you'll be happy to know that on the current account, Zimbabwe is in the black. You don't need to fill any forms in Zimbabwe to get US dollars. You just go into the street and you buy them, you go into the bank, you buy. The US dollars are not given for free by the American government.
Yes, I think let's stop from there. So you are hearing it yourself. He was boasting about so many things. At least one would say these are political statements. But I got worried when he said he posted that in Zimbabwe you can get a US dollar on the streets. Now, how did we get to that? So in simple terms, he is actually celebrating that in Zimbabwe there are money changers and you can get the US dollars from the money changers. They have destroyed actually government systems that ensures that people secure US dollars, especially by professionally registered institutions, rather than getting these US dollars from the streets. By the way, it does not come as a surprise, because one of you remember the child of Chris Mutsvanga is actually, I think there is a pending case for him because he is dealing with Forex in Zimbabwe. So hearing that from his father, he's used actually to trade with Forex illegally in Zimbabwe. And because this is what Chris Mutsvanga has been privy to for so many years, he thinks it's a normal life. That is a very, very abnormal life. It cannot be celebrated by a sane person. And this goes to underscore the characteristics and the nature of the politicians that we have in Zimbabwe. There is absolutely no sane person that can go in a foreign country that is stable and claim that they are better in Zimbabwe because they are buying foreign currency in the streets. This can be said by, I mean, then this is the individual who boasts that is educated, highly educated. A highly educated individual will be very, very careful about the statements that he says, especially publicly. Chris Mutsvanga is one of the most reckless politicians to ever exist in Zimbabwe. Of course, I have been actually labeling him to be a clown, but I think this has gone beyond him being a clown. There is no sane person who can celebrate what he's celebrating. And other things that he raised, they are actually lies. That the Zimbabwean currency is doing better, about current account, and all the nonsense that he was really speaking about. The truth of the matter is that ZANU-PF has collapsed the Zimbabwean currency. There have been attempts to reintroduce it, but it died on its birth. That currency that they were trying, the ZIG currency, that they were claiming to rob Zimbabwe, saying it would be backed by gold. It was never backed by gold, and I don't foresee it being backed by gold. He claims that about young people in Zimbabwe receives about 2 to 3 billion United States dollars. That is also lies. This is the statistics that he cannot back it up and that he cannot prove. If that's the case, why then are young people running away from the country? Why are there nurses, teachers who are trained professionally in Zimbabwe who cannot be employed by the same government of Chris Mutsvanga that is boasting? Unemployment in Zimbabwe stands at a staggering figure, 95%. I think the journalist there was supposed to really do his homework and engage Chris Mutsvanga properly, because he was given yet another platform to lie. But this is an indication on the thinking, overall thinking, especially by individuals within ZANU-PF, how they think. You can see what is being celebrated by Chris Mutsvanga cannot be celebrated by a sane politician. He knows that in Zimbabwe there is absolutely no one who is going to hold him accountable. I think Chris Mutsvanga has been reckless for the longest period of time, and no one appears to be actually taking action against him. I think they enjoy him speaking like that, because in Zimbabwe, by the way, ZPC, ZANU-PF thrives through propaganda. So this is part of the propaganda. This time around, they are taking it to the neighboring country, that is South Africa, which is very, very unfortunate. A simple question could be asked to them: why are then about 1 million Zimbabweans feeling not safe to live in Zimbabwe, opting to actually run away to South Africa? That simple question could have actually killed his notion. So it's a very, very vulnerable and emotional Chris Mutsvanga, and also he can't think properly. He's very, very reckless. He utters statements that are detrimental even to himself as well as his own political party. But that is good, exposing ZANU-PF, the nature, the characteristics of who they are. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red black subscribe button, so that next time when we beam live, guess what, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the subscribe plus button, and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and also send us stars. Do remember to subscribe on this channel and follow other digital platforms belonging to this channel, such as the Hlonipani Global News on your X, formerly Twitter, as well as Facebook. We are available on all those platforms. Once again, let me